Hello to all. I'm going to be unboxing the Unity Fast. This is Optic mount from Unity. I bought it from Kinsey's Optics via Amazon, and I know Kinsey is like authorized dealer of a lot of high-end stuff, so I am confident that I don't have a Chinese knockoff in here or anything. I really need to get a smaller knife to be doing this stuff. All right, paper. Inside we have a little tool, some screws with some Loctite on it. And here we have the fast mount. All right, so nothing else was in there but the mount and the little bag of tools and everything. This is the micro mount. So this mount right here, it has a footprint for the Aimpoint Micro, the H1, H2, T1, T2, as well as this one works with the Compin 5 and the other Aimpoint style optics, like the Sig Romeos, Hollow Suns, Primary Arms, Vortex, all those with the Aimpoint kind of footprint. They'll work on this optic right here. And this is a good looking mount. So as you can obviously see, it is a bit taller than other mounts. It will give you about a 2.2-inch center line for the optic. And what this gives you is a much more natural heads up position of your neck. So you don't have to bend down, crane down. Your chin can rest on the stock more so than your cheek can. It's made out of 7075 T6 aluminum, and it is a good looking piece of metal. Some of the other things that you can change on this or that are different is that you do have the option for a QD mount here. Assume you just take these out right here, pop this off, and you're able to put in a QD lever so you can easily, quickly take it on and off. Unity offers one, as well as American Defense Manufacturing. And if you see here, you have a windage adjustment, and up here you have elevation adjustment. So I assume one of these things right in here, maybe this silver part, or maybe this, oh no, this part right here is actually a front sight, and you put that here, screw it to the left or right to raise the elevation. And back here, you actually have a little ghost ring or peep sight. So you have iron sights, little backup sights actually contained in with this mount. Now, as you can see, it's about exactly from right here to right here. So you have an extremely short sight radius. Handgun iron sights have a longer sight radius than this. You probably have Derringers that have a longer sight radius than this right here. So it's not going to be the most accurate, but it is something that, you know, it's a nice option, nice feature, and it could help for close encounters. That being said, if you spend, you know, $600 to $900 on a H1 or all up to a Compin 5, you have a pretty solid optic from Aimpoint up there that, you know, something like this is not necessary. Or you can forego this little front sight post up here, and this back here can actually co-witness with the front sight. Now you guys can go on and make fun of me, but I've actually never owned or purchased any Aimpoint products. I have tried them out here and there sometimes, but I've never owned a Aimpoint product. I have, you know, a few ACOGs, other Trichicon products, LCO, EOTech, and G33 combos and stuff like that. But I've never actually had an Aimpoint. It's just never worked out that way. And as of right now, I'm actually going cheap. I am putting an optic on this mount right here. And this optic, the Romeo 5, actually costs less than this mount. We'll see if an Aimpoint at any time is something that's going to happen in my future, but I just don't know. Now, of course, I don't have anything against Aimpoint, but it doesn't look bad. Yeah, maybe one day I'll buy an Aimpoint. I don't know. But I really like to look at this optic, and my bad, I like to look at this mount, and I like the height of it. That's the main thing I want to try out. So if I end up liking it, I'll try it out, and then maybe I'll throw in, I'd probably go for a Comp N5 over the T1 or T2. But for now, I'm just gonna go cheap and throw the Romeo 5 on it. I'll test it out once I, put a few hundred rounds on a rifle, or it might actually be going on the GHM9. I had that little issue earlier on with the, what you call it? I forgot what that mount was called. I'll figure it out. I'll put it in the video, but that optic mount would not work on the GHM9 rail. So I have no reason to believe this won't. So I'll try this one out on the GHM9, put this on it, and I should be good to go. So I dumped all the contents of the bag out, and I wasn't sure what this part right here was. And I believe it is actually the locking. So right here, this is where your front sight post goes in. And I believe that little silver thing right there, it actually threads through, and it is the locking mechanism or a locking mechanism for your front sight posts. So I am actually going to install this. I don't plan on using any front sights. So install this, and I believe this goes in right here, and it's going to lock in so your zero doesn't change on you. But this is a very well thought out sight right here, optic mount right here. I'll probably spend the extra $35, $40 and go for the QD option, but we'll see. So to install all the little parts and screws, you actually need 3 different size tools, and I actually don't have anything small enough for this little locking part right here. So I actually have something that's a little bit too small, and then I have something that's too big. The included Allen key, it is the right size for the screws, so don't have to worry there. They go in just fine. So yeah, those go in just fine. But the front sight post, the included tool is too big, so you actually just can't get in there. What I have a 5/64 flathead, and that is actually small enough to get in. I'm able to get traction. But for this right here, I actually don't have anything small enough, so I'm not too worried about the front sight post and locking it in. I will get to that some other time. But hopefully the thread locker on it as is enough. So it looks like what I'll probably do, I'll drop it in from the bottom like this, the post side up, and then I can take my screwdriver. We'll see if it can fit. Doesn't look like we can fit that way, huh? So actually I'll probably just have to take this off, slide it across. I'll get some more clearance there. It looks like you actually have to do that anyway. So yeah, so we'll see if this can fit. So the Allen key can actually fit to get to the screws on the bottom of the optic mount. But I'll take this across, take that off so I can screw in the front sight post, and I'll mount the optic, and I'll just leave this out the equation for right now. You actually need another size tool for the to mount it. So they give you one tool, but in the end you actually need about 4 different size tools to be able to put everything in this mount correctly. So I got that off, and now let's see, I should have enough clearance with this. So yeah, I'll be able to get that in just fine now. All right, so I got the front side in right here, the front post. And there you go. There's a very, very short aiming setup right there inside the mount. Again, this little thing right here, I assume it goes into there. It looks threaded, but I don't have anything. I don't think I have anything to really get that down now. I'll put this back in, and then to mount the optic, just mount the optic, put it upside down. You can use the included key, and we'll get at it that way. I'll do that off camera though. So what you do is kind of just drop the screw into one of those holes right there. Let it fall down to down there. You gotta kind of wiggle it around a little. Once you get that, straighten it up with the tool, and you're able to get it to match with the threads, and go on and tighten it down. And I feel that Loctite binding up. That's good. And that's about hand tight right there. So that's 2 screws in, and footprint seems to matches up decently, but you know, kind of sucks. Again, you need the tool for the screws. You need a tool for the actual mount itself on the 1913 Picatinny rails. You need something else for the front sight, and then you need something else for the little locking part right here. So I know plenty of you guys, you know, I just had this lying around, and I also have another one of these, most certainly, that fits too. But 4 different things to put it on. The lockup seems sturdy, even with just 2 footprints, no issue. And I'll figure out what I'm going to put this on. Probably the JHM9, but I'll move it around for a little while to see how I like it on different platforms. But I appreciate you guys watching.